Let me start first on the fact that you're expecting higher profits this year. How do you plan to generate those?
Now, we think that we are in a unique condition to increase revenues because our net interest income can grow due to our improvement in cost of funding during 2019. We will not issue some wholesale bonds that are expiring during 2019, and we will grow into the loan book, especially in the international field. And also on the repricing actions, we think to have a lot of room to increase revenues. Also on commissions, we can have a rebound, and so we expect an increase in revenues. Cost reduction is our best practice, and we will continue to reduce cost. And then reducing the stock of non-performing loans, we will have a significant reduction in cost of risk also during 2019. So the result will be an increase in net income.
Yeah, on the non-performing loans, you cut about, as I said, 16 billion euros of non-performing loans last year, reducing the overall stock by almost a third. So what exactly is the plan this year?
So, sorry, if I can add, at no cost to shareholders.
Right.
And increasing the coverage of non-performing loans. That's the fantastic job that we made in Intesa Sanpaolo, because it is easy to reduce non-performing loans paying a price to the buyers of non-performing loans. We reduced at no cost to shareholders. The plan for 2019 and 2020 is to accelerate reduction, especially unlikely to pay. So we want to increase our recoveries of these categories, and our expectation is to meet our 2021 targets in 2020. So we can accelerate this trend of reduction in order to be 1 year in advance in our business plan. And for 2021, we will come back to be a normal European bank looking at non-performing loans.
Right, and I was going to ask you about the unlikely to pay loans, but you've actually just mentioned those. So you're planning to dispose of those, just to be clear?
We are planning to accelerate the reduction. This means that we are putting a lot of people in order to increase recoveries in a plan that can add until 1,000 people in order to work into the recoveries. Then we are evaluating some form of strategic alliances in order to have better performance in recoveries. But remember that the target of unlikely to pay is to transform them into performing loans, not into bad loans. So our target is to increase recovery. Then if we can make some disposal at no cost to shareholders, this can happen. But the main target is to accelerate recoveries.
Yes. I want to talk about deposits, because deposits from the banking business fell by more than 2% in the fourth quarter. Now, that was largely because of declines in corporate clients' repurchase agreements. You've said that the deposits you care about are retail deposits and not institutional and corporate clients. How do you expect to grow retail deposits with the backdrop of an economy in recession?
So remember that in the last year we increased the deposit by 11,000 billion euros. So in the last quarter we had just a marginal reduction due to institutional clients, but the trend is there to increase deposits and not to reduce deposits, because we are the flight to quality area of Italy. So we have a continuous trend of increasing retail deposits. Our target is not to increase retail deposits just for the sake of increasing, because our target is to have retail deposits in order to convert into asset under management and into wealth management and insurance products. So consider that we have 1 trillion euros of wealth of Italian families, out of which more or less 350 is asset under management. So we want to convert the remaining part as much as possible into asset under management.
Yes.
But we are the safe house of Italy, and so we think that we can continue to increase retail deposits.
Carlo, I'm glad that you mentioned assets under management and wealth management, because you also said that what you consider strategic is to be in the position to increase fees and wealth management in 2019. Now, the thing with wealth management is, as I'm sure you know, elsewhere in Europe, it's been challenging in the fourth quarter. It's a competitive sector. How will you weather that environment for wealth management?
But it is competitive mainly for the performance effect. So the main point of asset under management, insurance product, wealth management has been the performance effect. And if you are in an environment with negative performance in the market, it is clear that you can have a reduction in the stock coming from performance and also an attitude of clients to wait and see, and so not to enter into other wealth management products. But the strategic area of the banking sector is wealth management by definition, because it is resilient, and that's the reason why Intesa Sanpaolo, being Italian, is one of the top bank and best bank also in the EBA stress test, because we have a business model that is resilient, because it is based on wealth management, and also we have a strong capital position.